Okay, so for today we have David Benavidez and some keys to his unstoppable offense. So let's get started with this one. We'll first look at the jab, okay, which is his most commonly used weapon, just like Caleb Plant. But what's so amazing about David Benavidez is his jab is so quick, but he doesn't even step into it. And so I'll show you what I mean here. I don't want to call it a lazy jab, because some people can misinterpret that, but to me it's a lazy jab in the sense that it does not really look like he's spending a lot of power, but it's lightning fast. It's a very relaxed, and it does not use a lot of load up from his legs. Now the next thing that we'll look at, and one of the keys in his offense, is blocking. And so what we see from David Benavidez, he does not have a lot of head movement. He goes straight forward, and whenever his opponent throws a punch, he utilizes blocks. Because he's got such long arms, he has the ability to cover both the head and the body at the same time, as you can tell here. And then he sits on the back foot, and he counters right away. Now you might say, hey, Boxing Genius TV, this is not offense, this is defense. Yes, but you have to remember, this directly translates to your offense, because imagine if David Benavidez was moving his head like Floyd or like James Toney, he won't be able to be as offensive, okay? If you spend a lot of energy moving your head and evading punches with fancy head movement. And so the blocks are really a vital part of his game, because it allows him to defend himself without spending a lot of energy. And again, on this particular instance, we rarely see David Benavidez moving back. He blocks right here, and he plants his feet there almost. And the last case scenario from this particular situation is he will take that left foot and he will square up, but he does not move back. And that's what allows him to counter. And so, as you can tell here, when he blocked those shots, he was able to counter right away because he wasn't moving back. And he's always in a position to counter from that high guard position that he was in. On this one, the same thing will happen. He will, again, block and then directly put his focus on countering and then throwing his own punches, because he's not so busy defending himself. He just sticks to the fundamentals and he blocks all those shots because he's gifted with, such long arms. The next one will be minimal foot movement. And again, you may say, what does this have to do with fucking offense, man? This is footwork that you're talking about. Well, again, this directly translates to energy conservation, conserving energy, as opposed to spending energy in which you cannot, from which you cannot throw punches anymore if you get tired from doing it. And so what we'll see is the last case scenario for David Benavidez is stepping back. But if you look at the space in which David Benavidez is stepping back in, is very short. Okay, so he steps back to a distance that's necessary to dodge those punches. So as opposed to moving back very far, he just moves back, takes a step back. He takes a step back in order to dodge those punches, and his foot movement is very minimal. And again here, instead of stepping back, he will just take his left foot, turn into a southpaw, and then here he will take his left foot again, square up a little bit, instead of stepping back all the way and taking or eliminating his chances of countering. Because the further you step back, the harder it is for you to counter, because you're much further from your opponent at that point, you see? And so here, what you will see again is he steps back, but he steps back very shortly. he does not step back far. He stays close to his opponent, and that allows him to have counter-punching opportunities all the time. Right there, right there, okay? He was able to throw a counter because he wasn't stepping back far. He was stepping back, and he stayed close to his opponent all the way because he knows that he can take those punches. Now we'll finally get to the offense, okay? Y'all might be waiting. Where's the offense? Where's the offense? Okay, here it is. We will now look at some of the combinations and the keys to efficient combinations of David Benavidez. And so what we'll see on this instance is Benavidez does not throw, or Benavidez throws his punches from all angles. What I mean by that is he has the ability to exploit multiple openings despite the good coverage that this guard provides. And so he goes straight to split the guard, and then he goes wide to force derail to close the guard, and then when he finally closes the guard, he will use those looping punches to exploit those openings. And so a combination of straight punches and looping punches is really what makes David Benavidez deadly, because he has the ability to open the guard and exploit the openings that his opponent gives. On this one it will happen again, but he mixes up body shots here, some straight punches, and he forces his opponent to drop their guard, raise up their guard, close their guard, and once they do that, Benavidez has the ability to exploit the openings that are being provided to him, right? And another great part of this combination that I see a lot is his ability to set it up with pillow shots. And so I talked about this a lot already before, but I will talk about it again here because it's a very important part. So if you look at Mayweather in his heavy bag workouts, what you'll see is he throws soft punches, and this is when people hate him for. This is what people hate him for, because when he hits the heavy bag, he throws soft punches. But in a real fight, that translates. Okay, and I'll explain why it translates. Because the truth is, throwing power shots all the time soon will tire you out. And if you look at some fighters like Canelo Alvarez, who throws their punches very explosively, their punches are not as strong in the later rounds. And so it's very important to mix up pillow punches with power punches and be able to set up the power shots by throwing some pillow shots. So here he sets up the right hook to the body, a powerful right hook to the body. Let's break down the sequence. He sets up the powerful right hook to the body by throwing two left hooks. And so watch this, right? Let's play it in slow motion so you guys can see. Here he will set up the powerful right hook to the body by throwing one soft right hand, two soft left hooks, and then finally throwing that right hook to the body. Okay, so one soft right hand, two soft left hook, almost like a tap, and then he throws a powerful right hook to the body. Then he throws a 1-2-3, then he throws a 1-2, a soft 1-2 as a setup for a powerful left hook to the body. And then there he tried to blind him with the lead hand, and then he threw a right hand. So that was it. Those are some keys to great offense that David Benavidez displays when he fights in the ring. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.